Shane Steichen spoke to the media today, and you know what? He sounds a lot like Shane Steichen sounds after the Colts win or lose. It doesn't really seem to matter, and I like that level of consistency and behavior from a leader. He talked about Anthony Richardson, talks a little bit about Quentin Nelson, talks about Zaire Franklin, Juju Brents. Big plays went into the game yesterday that allowed the Colts to emerge victorious in Baltimore.
Shane, what went into the decision to make Darryl Baker a healthy scratch and then obviously start Juju? Well, I'll say start. Technically, he didn't start, but he played a lot of snaps and get him in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, Bake for us, we know he's a really good player for us. Juju had just been progressing really well through the first 2 weeks of the season, and we felt that it was time to give him a shot to go out and play, and he had a heck of a game for us.
What'd you think of the play where he chased Kenyon Drake down? What does that say about how he sees the game, plays the game?
Yeah, no doubt. It was huge. Obviously, to get that turnover and win the turnover battle 2-0 was huge. But to see his effort on that play and strip at that football and recover it was a huge play in the game. It was a huge play by him.
Doyle?
Shane, hi. That thing that you do on field goals where the other side has lost a timeout 2 games in a row now. I don't watch all the games, so I don't know. I watch all your games. Did you get that from somebody somewhere else, or did you kind of stumble on that? What's the genesis of that?
There's a lot of stuff, over the past couple of years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it may be, that, teams do stuff, little tactics there to create an advantage. And just researching and finding ways to do that.
So in other words, you're not telling me that you got that from somebody.
Yeah. It's out there. We got it. Yep. You always take what you can find out there.
Okay, and one more thing. Have you seen the GIF, the meme, whatever the Colts did of you? I think you're acknowledging Harbaugh across the field. You kind of shrugged like, I tried, or you got me back, or whatever. Did you see that? How cool that looks?
Yeah, I did. It was actually, I shrugged at their DB coach, Denard, because he looked at me and smiled, and I smiled back, and I'm like, we tried it. Why not? I mean, do it twice and see what happens.
The end of regulation situation there where I think it was Lamar got sacked. I forget who that was. That Quiddy, I think, got him. And I don't know. There was like a lot of confusion there. I asked Chris about it, and I don't think he had gotten an answer. Did you guys get any clarity on that? The clock stopped, right?
Yeah, we'll talk to the league on that one. Yeah.
What do you think should have? What is your understanding of how that should have been ruled? Do you know?
I don't want to talk about the officials in that situation. But yeah, he was down. The ball was thrown. It went to I'll keep it. Yeah, private. Yeah.
One other question, unrelated. We talked a little bit about Zach Moss yesterday, but I think it was 30 carries, something like that.
Yeah.
You don't see that a lot in today's league. And he took some hits. He's a tough runner. What type of disposition does a guy have to handle that kind of workload in a game like that?
Yeah, obviously toughness, physicality, which he runs with. Obviously he's done it back-to-back weeks for us. And he continues to do it. So he had the hot hand again, and we rode him. We rode him, and he played really good football for us back-to-back weeks. And we'll see how it goes this week.
Chap.
Coach, so much of this league is how you do in situations, down and distance, and all that stuff. First game obviously didn't do a real good job. No efficiency, 3rd down, 4th down. Last 2 games, it seems like you've been pretty efficient. More than that, though, no turnovers the last 2 games. Can you just kind of describe the importance of, I guess it's simple, but ball security in situations?
Yeah, situational football and ball security, if you look around the league year in and year out, a lot of those games come down to that, winning the turnover battle and winning situational football. And it's something that we harp on as a football team. We practice it. Obviously, ball security, we do it every single day in practice. We talk about in the meeting rooms. We take it to the practice field so it can show up on game days. And to win the turnover battle back-to-back weeks and be good in situational football has paid off for us the last 2 weeks.
Well, I guess on the flip side, Gus's guys have got to take it away, which they've done a pretty good job at.
Yeah, they're relentless coming after the ball. Obviously, the defensive line getting the pressure on the quarterback, getting the strip sack fumbles. Obviously, Juju had the big one chasing down, Kenyon there to get the fumble. Again, we got to practice it. We do the takeaway circuit every day in practice, and we harp on it every single day so it comes to life on Sundays.
George?
Coach, you've mentioned relentless effort, sort of related to Chap's question. I think it was the end of the first half. There's a fumble. It looks like the Ravens can scoop and score. Quentin Nelson gets down there and knocks it free. And then you get Pittman hustling over to make the recovery. Is that teach tape? Is that the way you want that to look?
That's it. That is the definition of it. We teach our guys get on every loose ball because you never know. And so the effort that Quentin gave there, the effort that Gardner gave there to jump on him because he was about to recover it, and then Pittman, coming on the outside to get the recovery there. And then also on the back end, you can see Pierce flying across the field to try to get in the mix too. It was a huge, huge play in the game. Obviously, you got to be better in that situation, taking care of it to get ourselves a chance to score 3 points there. But it was huge to get the recovery there, so we didn't give them 3 points.
JJ?
Shane, after the game, a lot of players use, resiliency and relentless in describing this game. Do you have a sense of what a win like this, where so many plays matter, every phase of the team had a hand in it? Do you have a sense of what this does for kind of reinforcing the culture that you're establishing here?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big win, and it showed a little bit with our guys, the resiliency, the relentless effort. It was back and forth, that game could have went either way, but our guys just kept fighting. And it was a big win, but, we got to put it, in our rear view mirror. We got a big game coming up, this week against the Rams that we got to get ready for.
Kevin?
Yeah, I've got two. How would you describe Pitt as a receiver, or just maybe a football player?
Tough. I mean, him and to me on offense, like there's a lot of tough guys, but Quentin Nelson and Michael Pittman are the definition of tough, and they're resilient, and they just make plays. Obviously, he makes the huge play there in overtime to get the momentum there with that catch. The guy's hand went up in between his face mask, and he was able to come down with it, and his helmet comes off. And he just keeps showing up and making plays. I think he would have had 9 catches for 77 yards. And just made plays. He continues to make them week in and week out, but a really good player for us.
And then is the plan for Anthony to practice Wednesday?
He's in the protocol right now, and we'll wait to get that from the doctors. So.
Raven?
I have a couple. So starting on the defensive line, we know so much praise is given to Grove and DeForest Buckner, rightfully so. Kwity Paye is having a great start to his 3rd season. Just what have you seen from Samson Ebukam throughout his time? Because he's another one of those new guys getting used to Gus's defense.
Yeah, no, he's been tremendous. He was, the player of the game for us on defense yesterday. He was all over the field, sack, fumble. He plays with so much physicality. He sets the edges. He rushes the passer. He's able to fall back and make plays on the running back like he did the other day. Just a tremendous get. Great job by, Chris Ballard and his staff, signing him in the offseason was a huge get for us.
Yeah. And then just another question. So I know you're never going to complain about a win, especially when it comes in the historic fashion that it was with Matt Gay hitting those 4 50-plus yard kicks. But at a moment, does it get kind of bittersweet because you'd rather finish those drives off with touchdowns? And if so, how do you make sure you do that?
Yeah, obviously sustaining drives and being good in 3rd downs and, having a plan starts with us as coaches, scoring points. Obviously, this game is about scoring points, and we got to score touchdowns. But, I mean, again, huge getting Matt again. Credit to Chris on that one, signing him in the offseason to get an elite kicker like him to do what he did on Sunday to win that football game was huge.
James?
Shane, is Ryan Kelly still in the protocol as well?
He is. Him and Anthony are in the same deal right now.
Gotcha. And then so another thing is JT is eligible a week from today to join the team on 53-man roster. Have you been in contact with him at all about the reintegration process and did he travel to Baltimore?
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to refrain from getting into that stuff with JT. But like I said, he'll be, off PUP here in a couple of weeks, and I'll take questions about it.
Chap?
Coach, a lot of talk is about the culture and what you're trying, I guess, put your fingerprints on this franchise. Do you have to teach guys how to win? I mean, these guys all come from winning programs for the most part. What does it mean that you have to find ways to win these games and find ways to win, period?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, when you win games like we did the other day, I think the biggest thing for us is maintaining that, because we're going to have a lot of close games. This league is always going to be close, but to win one like that and to finish a game like that as a football team, we got to carry that over and keep the message strong in the locker room, in the meeting rooms, and on that practice field, and just keep believing and keep fighting every single week. So we give ourselves a chance to win every single week.
Last one, Greg.
Shane, I feel stupid asking this. I do, and I asked some dumb ones, but Gardner Minshew is in a way 2-0. I'm not saying he should start, but I'm just wondering, does that factor into whatever happens with Anthony, or is Anthony the starter as soon as you feel like he's got the practice and the health to go?
Yeah, Anthony's our guy. He's our starting quarterback. But going back to Gardner, a ton of respect for Gardner and what he does on a week in and week out basis. And when he goes in, he operates at a high level. And couldn't be more thankful that he's here and what he's done for this football team. But yeah, if Anthony's ready to go, he'll go.
Thank you.
That Shane Steichen, like I said, sounds the same, win or lose, and I like that a lot. Anthony Richardson, we know he's in the concussion protocol and that he's going to remain in the concussion protocol at least until Thursday. Maybe he practices Wednesday and then is examined by an independent neurologist on Thursday, and then he's out of the protocol. That could happen. Interesting to know, though, that no matter what happens, when Anthony Richardson is healthy, he will be the starting quarterback. And that is likely to come this Sunday against the Los Angeles Rams. Rams play tonight against the Bengals in Cincinnati. It does not hurt the Colts to have the Rams fly all the way out to Cincinnati and then back to LA and then all the way out to Indianapolis. That doesn't hurt. It may not help the Colts, but it sure doesn't hurt. We'll see what happens on Sunday. I think we'll see whether Anthony Richardson is going to be the starter, whether he's going to get out of the protocol, Ryan Kelly too. But we know that they do have to practice and then be examined before they are released from the protocol. But if the Colts can continue to figure out ways to win and continue to learn how to win, this could become a dangerous team in the AFC South. Want to remind you, like this video, subscribe to this video. We're going to have another jersey giveaway this week whenever I get the jersey from the great people at Pristine Auction. And you've got to, in order to win, you have got to you got to subscribe to this channel and Two Big Brains. We just did a Two Big Brains a little bit earlier today, Dan Dakich and I, and as usual, it was awesome. I believe it was our best episode yet.